thank you everyone for coming. First of all, thank you to the Saguaro Marching Band. Yay! Before we say anything else, can I tell you, this is exactly the reason we need the school override to pass. Thank you guys. Okay, thank you. My name is Jennifer Petersen, and I'm here to welcome everybody to our event. You're going to hear from a couple of speakers. I know we've already enjoyed the music tonight. I have lived in Scottsdale for 26 years, and I had the good fortune of serving on the school board for 8 years. I decided to run for the City Council because I want to turn us from a city of no to a city of go. We're here today to say yes to Scottsdale and enjoy some refreshments and obviously enjoy some music. The idea for this event, when Linda, Dennis, and I were discussing it, was really born from the idea of supporting the school district override. But then the more we talk about it, we were talking about the optimism that's been lost in Scottsdale as of recently. And we decided we wanted to morph the event into more of a let's say yes to Scottsdale. Let's really invest in our community. So that's why we're here today. We want to send the message to everybody outside of Scottsdale that we will invest in ourselves, and so should you. We must have A+ schools in order to have an A+ economy. We need to renew our optimism. We need to invest today for a better tomorrow. We need to plant trees that none of us are going to feel the shade from. So please, vote yes to Scottsdale. Vote yes to the SUSD override, and please vote yes to Linda Milhaven, Dennis Robbins, and Jennifer Petersen, the 3 candidates who share the enthusiasm and optimism for Scottsdale. It's my pleasure to introduce Councilmember Virginia Cordy, a lifelong leader in the community, an education advocate always, and she's going to discuss some specifics about the override. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. So, overrides are here to stay, and if you don't understand what overrides are, we are forced to do overrides because the state legislature continues to underfund our schools, and it is the only way for districts to maintain the quality of education and the programming that we believe is necessary to educate our kids. That's what an override is. And so today's override is about 18.8 million. It's over 5 years. And, the argument around district inefficiencies is long past. It's really all about lack of funding. We are dead last in funding per student in the country, dead last. And as far as I'm concerned, that's unacceptable. It's just unacceptable. The past 5 years, the state legislators have cut funding to our public schools by 22%. That equates to, in Scottsdale Unified School District, to $30 million. Yet we are still A-rated district. We maintain a 91% graduation rate, and we have received over $50 million in merit scholarships. And that's huge, and that's what success is all about. The override is a maintenance and operations override. 90% of it is targeted directly to the classroom, where we will maintain and reinstate full-day kindergarten, increase teacher salaries, and be able to attract the best and the brightest teachers for our children, reinstate special programs like band, where our band went to, and things like music and PE and art, and reduce class sizes. The bond also, for you, directly impacts you because it is known that a strong school system will increase your property values by 15%. So 15% property values. And also the cost, if you're wondering what the cost is, for an average homeowner of about $340,000 home, it's going to cost you about $7 a month. $7 a month, or a fancy latte from Starbucks will support our school systems and create a talent pool that we need for our community. Thank you for being here. Now it is my pleasure to introduce a fellow City Council member, Dennis Robbins, He is a business owner and very much an advocate for economic development and our public school systems.
Thank you, Virginia. Thank you all for coming. I know this is a little bit preaching to the choir because you obviously are here because you care about education. But a little bit about me, I was born and raised here. I'm a product of the Scottsdale schools. I went elementary school to Kokopah, started there at kindergarten, went all the way through 8th grade, and then Chaparral High School. I didn't want to say that in front of the Saguaro High Band, but Chaparral. So I'm a business owner, I'm an attorney. My kids all went to Scottsdale Public Schools. My wife and I met in Scottsdale Public Schools. We went to high school together, so my heart is in Scottsdale schools, and it's really important to me that we continue to improve our schools. I was just telling Linda Milhaven, I remember picking up this fact recently, but when I was in Scottsdale schools, Arizona was ranked about 25th out of 50 states. We were about average for funding of public education back in the 70s, 80s, and so we've obviously fallen way down. And so this is one of the small ways that we can continue to fund education. And how it relates to economic development. The statistic says that $1, for every $1 we invest in education, we get $11 in return. So this $18 million will return 11 times that to our economy. Obviously, the city of Scottsdale, that doesn't do anything directly with the schools, we have some relationships, but we don't have any funding relationships with them. But education is an extremely empowering and powerful economic development tool, because if you have failing schools, if you have poor schools, you're not going to have good economic development, you're not going to attract good businesses, you're not going to retain good businesses. And one of the things we hear all the time from business leaders who are here and then those who want to come here is that the talent is sometimes questionable in Arizona. Are we attracting the right kind of talent to Arizona? And so those people that want to come here, put their business here or be employed here, they need to know that the schools are going to be there for them, that they're going to have positive, good schools that are going to continue on that tradition of education. So it's a great economic development tool, and if we can't invest in our schools, people think, well, then you're not worth living in or moving my business to, and so it just says a lot about us as a community. So obviously 2 times failing at the bond is bad. Our city bond failed as well at the same time, and that's not good for our city. We have a lot of work to do there as well. But I think my main point is that economic development is tied directly to good schools, school performance, and funding of schools. And so that's important to us as citizens. Scottsdale has about 225,000 residents. During the day, we have about 287,000 people that are here going to work. We're a net importer of jobs. We're not a bedroom community. We have a lot of business and industry here. And one of the reasons is because we have good schools. We attract good people. People come here and they vacation and they say, hey, this would be a great place to put my business. How are the schools? I just sent out an e-blast today, and one of the first questions that a business owner asks is, what are the schools like? You know, how do they perform? Are we investing in our schools? And I realize that schools are changing. The landscape is changing with charter schools and private schools, but still the base public school that's in our community is what's really important, and we need to make sure that we invest in that and keep making it better and better. So as our city goes, so goes our schools, and so obviously I'm a huge advocate for investing in the Yes to Children and the override. So next, thanks again for coming, is my colleague, Councilwoman Linda Milhaven. Make sure you vote for her on 11-4. Thank you.
Thank you, Dennis. And let me also express my thanks to all of you for showing up today. And as we heard from Jennifer and from Virginia and from Dennis, this is all about community. Whether a city council member or board member, it's schools, it's economic development. I think the vote this November is all about being positive for Scottsdale and saying yes to Scottsdale. I have the opportunity to occasionally go to national conferences, and folks will ask me where I'm from. And when I tell them that I'm from Scottsdale, they'll say, gee, how lucky. And I usually say, no, I'm smart. But we enjoy our wonderful community because of the decisions the folks made before we got here to make an investment in our community and to invest in quality and beautiful things like this park and the amazing schools with programs like we saw from the band. And so while we've just come through a very difficult time, this great recession knocked the wind out of everybody's sails and turned us all into bigger skeptics than we may have been before. but I think we can look around and see that things are picking up, that we have done without for a very long time, and that for Scottsdale to continue to be the amazing place that it's always been, we need to get back to planning for the future, spending prudently, and investing in our community. And so we're so thrilled to see you here today. We hope that you will vote yes for the maintenance and operations override that will support our schools. We hope that you will vote yes for the 3 candidates who embrace optimism and enthusiasm about the future of Scottsdale: Dennis Robbins, Jennifer Petersen, and myself, Linda Milhaven. Early ballots go out late this week on October 9th. Election day is November 4th. Please vote. Tell your friends to vote. Tell your friends to tell your friends, their friends to vote. It's so important. Last time the override failed by 238 votes. So we need to make sure that we get folks out to the polls so that we can pass it this time. There's information on the tables if you'd like to take some. And so please take the time to vote, to invest in your communities. And please stick around, and we've got some water, and take home some Otter Pops and some popcorn. So thank you all for coming. Once again, vote yes for the override for Dennis Robbins, Jennifer Petersen, and Linda Milhaven, the 3 candidates with enthusiasm for the future. Thank you.